Hello students, welcome back to our mathematics class. My name is Anjali and today we are going to continue our chapter 5 for class 7th. So before starting students, let me ask you that are you all fine, safe and good at your places? And I also hope that you all are doing great in your lives. So be focused students and be positive. Let's start with our today's class with a positive note. Okay, so students, I am going to show you something. Okay, what basically you have to do, you just have to observe. Okay, observe very carefully what I have. Okay, first of all, tell me students what I have in my hands. Yes, it is a notebook. Okay, it is a notebook I'm having. Okay, so now students, if I ask you that what have I done to this notebook now, just tell me. Yes, I have simply opened this notebook. Okay, very good. Now students, I am going to take few of the pages of the notebook and just open it like this. Okay, I think it's visible to you. Yes, very well. Now students, tell me, are you able to see any angles formed in these notebook? Yes, very well, because as in our earlier class we have discussed about that how an angle is being formed. So here also I hope you are able to see the two angles, different angles. One is this, which is this paper is forming with the other side, and one this from this side. Okay, two angles. Okay, let me go to the another slide so that you can see more clearly. Yes, now this I hope you can relate this with these are the two angles which we have. I have also formed with these notebooks. Okay, yes, very well, you can see that the two notebooks angles are forming. So students, what is an angle actually? Yes, an angle is formed by the two different rays, or we can say the line segment. Yes, by joining, and they have a common vertex. And here this is the common vertex. So if I ask you students that we have two angles over here, A and angle B. Okay. So what is the name we give to these type of angles? You must be wondering that we have only studied about the angles. We are not aware that what are we calling this A and B angle as, right? Okay, students, no issues. So students, what we will be discussing today, we will be discussing about that what are the different angles. Like here also you can see A and angle B. So the name of these angles basically students, it is adjacent angles, and also we will be discussing about the another type which is vertically opposite angles. So today our topic of discussion is adjacent and vertically opposite angles, its concept and the problems related to them. So students, I hope my board is clearly visible to you. Yes. So our topic of discussion today is adjacent and vertically opposite angles. We are going to discuss its concept and the problems. Okay. Yes, students. So now by looking at this book, if I ask you that are you getting any kind of idea that what are adjacent angles? Yes, you must be saying that the word adjacent means we can say side by side, right? Adjacent to me, someone is sitting, so we can say side by me, someone is sitting. So we are here also you can see students that A and B, they are adjacent to each other, right? These are the adjacent angles. Now let us take one more example, students. What is this? Yes, this is the steering of a vehicle, we can say. Okay. So now if I ask you that here, if you have to mark few of the adjacent angles, then how will you mark? Yes, you must be marking it like this. We can see one angle is formed over here, one angle is formed over here. So I have also student marked you side by side. So you can see that these are the few angles which we have from marked with the red. These are the two adjacent angle which are side, and two marked in the purple. These are the two angles, adjacent angles. Okay. Yes, now students, we have got enough idea what actually adjacent angles is. We can also find them in the wheels of a the steering of a vehicle. So let us see now with the help of the actual way that what are actually adjacent angles we mean by them. So students, here you can see that we have angle, we have some rays like AD, DB and DC, and few of the angles formed over here. Let us see that we can say at both the vertices A and the B we find a pair of angles next to each other. So students, just ignore this line firstly because I am going to discuss it with the help of this figure now. Yes, you can say that what we have drawn the angles like this. Let me also draw it on the board for you. What is the name we are giving? Yes, this point, this is D, this is C, and A and B. So students, I can see here angle, these at the adjacent angles we have what? They have a common vertex. So you can see that AD and the DC or the BD, these are the rays that first of all they are having a common vertex, right? Which is the D. And some of the angles formed is ADB, which is one angle, and BDC, this is angle, the another angle, right? So students, if I say angle ADB and angle BDC, if you observe these two angles similarly on the slide also, you can say they have a common vertex, which is BD. BD is common in all these angles, angle ADB and BDC. So BD is common vertex. This is this is common arm, and D is the common vertex. Okay. Yes, and the non-common arms are on the either side of the common arm. We can say that this is the BD is the common arm, D is the common vertex, and the non-common arms which are CD and AD, they are either side on the common arm. They could be this side or they could be on the other side of this common arm. So such angles we are calling them as the, yes, what, adjacent angles. Very good students. So now I hope you all have got the idea. So here in this figure we have ADB angle and angle BDC. They are the adjacent angles. Okay. Students, so now let's move ahead. So if I ask you to identify the adjacent angles in the this pole, electric pole, which we often see in the daily life also. So which are those two? Very good. They are representing, if they are only representing by the alphabet P and Q, so we can say that P and Q, they are the adjacent angles because they have this common arm, they have the common vertex, and the two non-common arm, they are on the either side of the common arm. Now let us, students, if in the wall clock we have in the clocks, are you able to see any adjacent angle? Yes, definitely you might be saying, yes, ma'am, it is visible to us and we can mark them also. So you can see that we have the two adjacent angles, students, over here also, which I have marked for you. So you can see that you are also saying that these are the two adjacent angles, right? Yes, which are formed by the minute, hour and the second hand of the clock. Okay, very good. So now students, it's your time to answer it as true or false. Okay, that and in this figure given, angle AOB, which is this one, and angle BOC are adjacent to each other. They are saying that this statement we have to consider it as a true or a false statement, students. So you can take your time and punch your responses. Meanwhile, what I will do, I will just mark the angles for you. Okay, you can also draw it on your notebooks. Yes. So are these two angles, angle AOB and BOC, adjacent? Very good, students. So this statement is definitely true. These are the adjacent to each other. Why adjacent, students? Are they fulfilling the condition of adjacent angles? Yes, definitely they are fulfilling. We have a common arm. So students, with what is the common vertex? Yes, common vertex is O. And what is the common arm? Yes, common arm is OB. And the non-common arms are what? Which are on the either side of this common arm. Very good, student. Non-common arms are the OA and OC. So they are fulfilling these three conditions. So we can say that these angles are adjacent to each other. Now students, I am going to show you few more images. So now tell me that what do you see? Yes, this is a you can say signboard of rail crossing road. Okay. Now what about this image? Yes, this is the helicopter. Yes, the helicopter. Now students, if I ask you to mark few of the angles which are visible over here, so which you will mark. Okay, so you can identify them also, that here also we have few of the angles, right? Yes, which we can clearly see, students, which are formed by the helicopter wings or the this railroad crossing. Okay, which over here you can see they are the few angles. So students, if I ask you that we are what are some of opposite angles, if I ask you if mark opposite angles in them, so what will you mark? Okay, so they are representing the angles, so let me mark, simplify it in the form of the in the board. And now if I ask you that opposite to this angle, I'm naming these angles. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Now tell me that opposite to angle 1, which angle is there? Yes, opposite to this 2 angle is there. Opposite to 4, yes, angle 3 is there. Very good, students. So now here also you can see with the pencil or the pen also we can draw like this, and we will be finding the 4 angles drawn over here. So students, the angle opposite to angle 4 is very good. That there it is 2 on which is visible on your slide. Okay. So are you aware what name are we giving to such angles? Yes, something related to opposite, which is, students, vertically opposite angles. So we are naming these angles as the vertically opposite angles. So students, what are vertically opposite angles? That when two lines intersect. Okay, two lines are intersecting, they are crossing. So vertically opposite angles are being formed. Okay, so those are known as the vertically opposite angles. Now you can see over here that also there is one very good point regarding vertically opposite angles, that they are always equal. So angle 1 will be equal to angle 3. Why? Because they are vertically opposite angles. And angle 2 will be equal to angle 4. Yes, because they are also vertically opposite angles. Very good, students. So like this we can say that how vertically opposite angles formed are equal. So this is the fact which you have to remember. And students, you can say that these angles which are, they are called the vertically opposite angles. Why? Yes, because they are opposite to each other at a vertex. They have the common vertex, but they are what? Opposite to each other. 1 is opposite to 3, 3 is opposite to 1. And likewise, okay? Yes. So students, if I ask you the name of this image, yes, it is a cart wheel, you can say, wheels of a cart. And what about the second? Yes, it is a fan, ceiling fan which we have in our home. So students, if I ask you that now in your daily life surroundings also, like these are the things from our daily life also, are you able to identify the vertically opposite angles in it? Yes, one is already being marked in this fan. You can say that the blue mark, they are the vertically opposite angles, right? Opposite to each other, and they will be equal also. And what about the cartwheel, students? Yes, in this also many we can find. So let us highlight few. You can also highlight it. Few we can mark the vertically opposite angles like this. Okay. Very good. So you can see that how this word okay, let me mark it the double side because you might be getting confused. Okay, so the double dot lines which I have drawn for the angles, they are the other vertically opposite angle pair. Very good, students. So now if I ask you that one more example you can think of where you can find the vertically opposite angles, few I have given you. Very good, students. Now the roads, if we have the four roads like this, okay, on you can say on the crossing area, or you can say uh, where we have the four roads connection on the state line. So there also you will find the vertically opposite angles. Now students, it's your time to answer it, that you have to indicate which pair of angles are vertically opposite angles. Okay, now we are clear with the concept that what is vertically opposite angles. So what you have to do, simply indicate the pairs, and I will write on the whiteboard which are those pairs. You can also write on the comment section or whatever notebooks you are having beside you. Yes, one pair we can find. Which one? Very good, students. Angle 1 and angle 4. So angle 1 will be equal to angle 4, and also we can say that angle 1 and angle 4 are vertically opposite angles. So students, short form of vertically opposite angles, we can write VOA. V for vertically, O for opposite, A for angles. Okay. So 1 will be equal to angle 4. Why? Because they are vertically opposite. Okay. Now students, what else? Are you able to find some few more? Okay, students. So now just look at that. Angle 5 will be equal to which angle? 2? No, not 2. 3? No, not 3 also. Yes, it will be equal to the sum of angle 2 and angle 3. Then we can say that angle 5 and the sum of angle 2 and angle 3, they are the vertically opposite angles. Okay. Yes, we can say these are the common vertex over here and the two lines which are intersecting. So here angle 2 plus 3 together will be forming equal to the angle 5, that is the vertically opposite angle. Okay, very good. So now students, there is one more image in front of you. What is this lady telling? Yes, she is indicating something, right? She's making us to look at something. I think this is also a road map like I discussed to you. If few roads connections are there. Okay. So students, if I ask you that I give you the value of this angle, like the B angle, okay, and I ask you to find out angle A or angle D, what do you think? How can we find that? If B is given to you, how will you find A? Very good. A will be equal to B because it is vertically opposite angle, right? Very good, students. So now what we are going to do, we will see that what are the applications or the problems based on this adjacent and vertically opposite angles, okay? So what is the question written, students, in front of you, which we have to do? Yes, we just need to find the values of the angles X, Y and Z. Okay. So what do you think? One angle is given to us already. Which is that? Yes, 55° is given to us. Now students, let us find one by one. So how we should proceed to solve it? Very good. First of all, you must be saying that angle X will be equal to 55°. And how, like we have used hit and trial method to find angle X? No, we are using the concept that angle X and is vertically opposite to the 55°. That is why it will be equal to the 55°, since it is vertically opposite angle. So students, we can write that angle X will be equal to 55°. Why? Because it is vertically opposite angle. Now students, what about angle Z? How we will find? Very good students. So you must be getting that idea. They are adjacent angles, and also students, what are they forming? Yes, angle Z and angle 55 degree, they are forming what? Supplementary angles. Okay. Yes. So the sum of the supplementary angles of which are forming supplementary to each other, it is 180 degree. So we will use that concept. So students, 55 degree plus angle Z will be equal to what? 180 degree. Why? We can say supplementary angles concept, or students, you can also say that they are adjacent, or yes, very good. So let me, you can meanwhile solve it, because they are adjacent angles also, right? And we know that adjacent angles, since it is forming with the straight line, so its sum will be 180. So angle Z we will be getting what? Yes, we will be getting angle Z as 180 degree minus 55 degree. So students, find out that what are we getting? Yes, you can solve it meanwhile. Some setting is been, yes, very good students. So angle, we can take 55 to that side, it will be minus. So 180 minus 55 will be, very good, 125 degree, right? We have found out angle Z also. Now students, what will be the value of angle Y? Very good. Angle Y is vertically opposite to angle Z. So it will be equal to angle Z only. Angle Z equal to angle Y, which is also 125 degree. Why? Because vertically opposite angles. So students, now you can see that we have found out. So therefore we can write angle, value of angle X is 55 degree. Value of angle Y is 125 degree. Value of angle Z is also 125 degree. So we have solved this question. You can note down students if you want to note it down from the board. We have also, we can proceed further now. Yes students, so now what you have to do, in this figure which is given to us, we need to find out the adjacent and the vertically opposite angles. Okay, let us find out one or two, then it will be much more clear to you. So let us find first adjacent angles, few adjacent angles. Okay, what are those? Yes, you can see, if I talking about the adjacent angles, they will be angle 1 and angle 2. Very good. Angle 2 and angle 3. Yes, similarly angle 3 and 4, and so on. And what about the vertically opposite angles? Yes, one we can say that angle, yes, 5 will be the together equals to angle 2 and 3. These are the sum of the vertically opposite angles. And what else? Yes. So similarly students, you can find the other also. Let us move ahead. You have to choose the correct option in the figure, that x and y are vertically opposite angles or x and y are adjacent angles. You have to choose the correct answer about x and y angle. So students, what are you getting? Answer? Yes, very good. X and y are vertically opposite angles, not the adjacent angles. Because adjacent angles have a common arm, but here we cannot see any common arm. So you are correct. X and y are vertically opposite angles. So students, today we have learnt about adjacent angles, vertically opposite angles, their concept and the problems. So what are adjacent angles? Yes, those angles which have a common vertex, a common arm, and their non-common common arms are either on the other side of the common arm. They are adjacent to each other. and vertically opposite angles are those which are opposite to each other and also they are equal. So students, in the following figure, is angle 1 adjacent to angle 2? What do you say? Yes, they are adjacent to each other. Why? Because see, you can see that they are having the non common arms on the either side of the common arm, and they are uh, sharing the one common arm also, and then we can say that yes, one is adjacent to angle 2. And what about students, if two lines intersect at a point, then the vertically opposite angles are always dash. Yes, they are always equal. That and so A degree and angle B degree will be equal to each other or not? Yes, they will be equal to each other. Now students, what you have to do is you have to find the values of angle X, Y and Z in the following figure. In the homework part you have to do, you have to identify 5 pairs of adjacent angles in this diagram, and in the activity you have to make different patterns using the ice cream sticks. And what you will do, you will highlight, somehow use your creativity to highlight the adjacent angles and which are the vertically opposite angles by making the different patterns, okay, of the intersecting lines or any angles. So thank you students, that's all for today's class.